Coming up on Up at Noon, we already have some favorite aliens from The Last Jedi. Demetri Martin stops by to talk about his new movie, and we've got some more Friday the 13th gameplay with our good friend Adam Sessler. All that and more right now on Up at Noon. Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Up at Noon Live, the #1 show.
That's it.
Period. That's
ever.
it. Yeah.
Ever made.
Yeah, and before you look it up, just stick around for a while and we'll prove to you that it's the #1 show.
Yeah, just the ratings might change at the end of the hour, but don't Google it until then.
Up and down.
Yeah.
In any case, you can watch us, of course, on IGN.com or on one of IGN's many tendrils throughout the internet, such as the YouTube, the Twitch, the Facebook, the Roku app, the Apple TV app, PS4, Xbox One, and there's this thing called like Beam. We don't actually know what it is. They email us about it every week, and we had one person in the chat who kept asking about Beam. But we don't know what it is. In any case, if you're watching on Beam, thank you. So we have something to apologize for. First of all, Brian has a robot text-to-speech converter on his computer, and he will probably be abusing it throughout the course of the show. But really, the main apology is to our dear friend, Star Wars.
Yeah, sorry, Star Wars.
Star Wars, we forgot your birthday. Your birthday was last week. It was your 40th birthday.
Big 4-0.
Yeah, and we forgot it, and we feel really bad, and so we hope that you still love us, because we still love you, Star Wars. And to prove it, we're going to talk about Star Wars for a while, so if you don't like Star Wars, take a short nap or get some juice from the fridge. But yeah, without further ado, the fine folks at Hasbro sent this over. This is the Darth Vader sort of early bird special display pack. Star Wars Black Series has been going on for a while. We've had many of them on our desk over time. They're the kind of standard collector grade 6-inch figures, but they're doing a cool thing here where they're basically, oh, there's that man.
There he is.
Oh, that's the young boy from the later film.
That's his son, his sickly son.
Basically, if you're familiar with the kind of the history of Kenner toys, back in the 70s when the first Star Wars came out 40 years ago, there weren't toys yet. So basically, around Christmas time, they were like, kids all want Star Wars stuff, and so they would sell early bird special, which were basically just pre-orders. And they were like, hey, if you pre-order now, you get a cool stand for all your dudes. But yeah, they're kind of recreating that, and they've, back then those were funny little 4-inch figures, but this year they're doing these kind of cool like collector style figures this is like the original card backs, but bigger, and they've got the Kenner logo on there and everything, even though they're now
his cape up in
made
there.
by
It looks like
Hasbro.
he's going down a slide.
Yeah, I like that. It's sort of like a weird, like kind of funny Mary Poppins flying nun sort of thing. But yeah, these are out there in the wild. I'm really excited because they're starting to kind of make some new ones here. They're also doing a Jawa and a Sandman. But this is pretty much just the original run of Star Wars figures recreated in 6-inch collector grade status.
This Darth Vader specifically, I've had a bunch of different Darth Vader toys over the years. It goes for about $20. It's a reprint of the old Black Series ones. There might be some tiny modifications to it. But it's like legit a great Darth Vader figure for the money you're spending on it. So seriously, if like you're looking for a cool toy for your desk, I'm a big fan of the Black Series. Most of them are pretty great in quality. Some of them not so much, but the Darth Vader is definitely one of them.
This is way cooler than I was expecting too. It's the stand is like it's like little plastic arches and stuff, so you can put all your funny men on their little stands. I think back in the 70s, this was just like it was like one piece of plastic and then cardboard that would probably give you lead poisoning. Things have changed. They've come a long way. Another thing that's happening in the way of Star Wars is if you check out newsstands right now, I don't know if you know what that is. That's this wire structure that they would assemble archaic paper periodicals on. Newspapers, they call them. But there's one periodical, in fact, called Vanity Fair that has a long history of doing very cool Star Wars spreads, and they're doing another one for The Last Jedi. The very talented Annie Leibovitz is taking photos. She got to go check out the Last Jedi set and take some awesome photos. Here are 2 of the covers.
These are gorgeous.
They really want you to buy a lot of magazines. It's all the same magazine inside, but you got to pick your cover. You get these 2, of course, with Rey and Luke. I like that they didn't want to do like the full CG hand, so they gave him like this nasty glove. And then you've got Phasma with her helmet off, and you've got Kylo Ren, and then old Hux there. And then of course this one's cool because you got Poe and you've got Finn, and you can tell that Finn is straight up just wearing Poe's hand-me-downs.
At this point, yeah, I think he's going to steal an article of clothing, a movie, until he's got the full set of Finn's.
He's just going to look like a lost and found by the end of it.
Also, this is let's be honest here. fans have been shipping these two for a while now, and I think this is really
a little bit obvious.
This is a little on the
Yeah,
nose.
you might have had a sleepover.
I'm a big fan.
But anyway,
Get it up in there.
there's Kelly Marie Tran, who's a brand new character named Rose, and this is like our first proper look at what her outfit is, and she looks like she works for the Resistance.
Yeah, we get some details in the movie that Finn sort of is wearing a modified bacta tank, which is now a suit. It's pretty cool. It's like a little exoskeleton. And when he gets up out of that after getting slashed up by Kylo Ren in the last movie, him and Rose go on this sort of like, I guess like a rescue mission of sorts.
We don't know what the hell the movie's about.
Yeah.
We do, however, get a very cool look at. Oh, that's a bit of a flash forward. We're gonna go back in time a little bit actually to take a second to talk about all the Vanity Fair stuff. They've done this for episode 1. I got this when I was in I think 7th grade or something, and they showed this cool fight that never happened. They just got Ray Park and Ewan McGregor to go jumping around in Tunisia. And then in episode 2, a few years later, they showed this off, which was cool because you got this awesome look not only at what Mace Windu would look like if he grew facial hair, but also this iconic photo of Ewan McGregor that people's grandmas keep thinking is Jesus, and like sharing on Facebook. And then a few years later for Revenge of the Sith, back when they were sort of like, this is going to be the last Star Wars movie, they had this whole big spread, and that gave us this photo, which you might have seen because it's been photoshopped a lot.
Oh, wow.
And I can't take credit for any of these, but people really have just, they really just,
oh man, these
yeah,
are great.
they really like to go just kind of overboard with that.
So the Vanity Fair thing is it's sort of a tradition at this point.
Yeah, and we've
right?
talked about this last year. They did the whole one for The Force Awakens, and I think we were like, what are we getting ourselves in for? And they gave us this awesome spread of course, Grumgar and Sabine Natal in the middle there, and then all these. They're made up names. They're all just nonsense people.
Quiggle.
It's all of Quiggled and
Our
Captain
little
Athano,
friends. Yeah.
The scruffy Bluebeard. But we're getting even cooler stuff this time around. That is Benicio del Toro, and that is Laura Dern, 2 characters from The Last Jedi. This is of course from this month's issue, who we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like we haven't. This is our first look at them in magazine form, and we get their names. Benicio del Toro's character is just DJ.
Yeah.
And Laura Dern's character's name is Vice Admiral Amelin Holdo.
Yeah.
And
so they're both, what we assume, are playing human-esque characters, which is really cool. Because, I mean, when the casting gets thrown around, especially since there's so many mysteries now about people like Snoke and who are Rey's parents, everyone immediately jumps to that's what they are, or, it gets a little ridiculous.
These are gorgeous photos, though.
Yeah,
like,
they're really good.
I really love it. However,
and I love
we
the costumes, too.
Yeah. I mean, there was great costumes. You made a funny remark. You said that Benicio's costume and this whole setting kind of just looks a little bit like Blade Runner.
It really does, yeah.
The costume designer for the original Blade Runner actually worked on Force Awakens. I'm not sure if they're doing Last Jedi too, but there's a lot of overlap there with people working on it. And then, of course, the really fun stuff is, we get to see Rey kicking some ass and doing that kind of thing.
I like the photos that they're taking, by the way, because it's sort of occasionally it's a set photo, and it's also like, well, obviously they Photoshop something in.
These are also just a few of them too. So like, get out there, go check out Vanity Fair or whatever. There's also a huge article about this.
Chewie's face is great here, by the way.
I don't want. Yeah, they totally do Photoshop a lot of it.
Like space is not really there.
Yeah.
He looks like he's having the time of his life, though.
Yeah,
I saw,
they kind of like tightened up some curves and some stray hairs. So they just trimmed it, But that's they do that with trying to create this ideal image of a Wookiee that isn't realistic. It's actually very bad for self-esteem on Kashyyyk.
Yeah, not a good look. He also pooped in the ship.
Yep, that's why Rey's making that really disappointed face. But yeah, moving on. The really cool stuff here that I think we're both really excited about is we get this look at this like just nightmarish. This is kind of going to be the Mos Eisley setup here. I think this is.
Well, it's actually a lot richer than that.
Yeah.
So I think this is their new casino planet, right? And this seems like the island from Pinocchio, but with a lot more money, right? Like this is a bunch, or sort of think about like a classier Vegas, where rich people go to possibly do naughty things, like what that man with the white hair is doing with his little puppet wife down there.
Enhance. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's up? That dude looks like a plan for a zombies character.
There's
That's a horse.
Pete's dragon's uncle.
Yeah.
And then there's those two found love in an awkward place, and then there's the funny puppet.
Yeah. And
is that why you're thinking this? Comparing this to Pinocchio?
I think that guy's gonna make out with that thing.
I mean, probably.
Yeah,
I think they're probably gonna just comp him out, and he'll be like, "What about my scenes?" And it's like, "No, we just really wanted your puppet friend."
Yep.
But yeah, there's another angle of this, which is great. You get this whole setup here, and if you can't see closely.
Marge Simpson's in the movie, which is good to know.
There's a lot of big hair, a lot of big, huge hair. I like that this is sort of like a more gothic look at like kind of the the politicians in episode 1, but they're like cutting loose. They're like, oh, we're rich and ritzy.
I really like the character in the middle because they were like, hey, just give her a shower curtain.
Yeah, I like this like quad hopper looking like Mon Calamari in the corner here.
Yep,
This
with the
like
4 eyes.
Hellboy nightmare fish man. This is what we love. Like we are gonna lose our minds when these weird characters show up on screen
And
in The
become
Last Jedi.
toys. And
Yeah, I hope they become toys. I want them to. But yeah, that's out there now. There's a bunch more photos in there. There's one thing that's really funny is that people keep thinking that there's a dog in the movie. Because there's a photo of like Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill and Kathleen Kennedy all hanging out, and there's a dog there, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's a dog! He's a Star Wars alien." It's just Carrie Fisher's dog.
We don't know that though. That's not true. It could be the main character of Episode 9 is the dog, and you know there's humans in the movie, so maybe there is the dog. So.
Okay, maybe not. That's a
But no matter what, it's the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, and we thought we'd celebrate by singing "Happy Birthday."
Yes.
Happy birthday, Star Wars. Happy birthday, Star Wars. Happy birthday, Star Wars.
And that is, of course, how they sing Happy Birthday in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, in Star Wars.
40 years ago. Speaking of Star Wars, I got to go to Star Wars Celebration, which was a fun time. And while I was there in Florida, I fired a machine gun. But it was not any ordinary machine gun. It's actually a very special one. And we got to shoot this fun video, as well as this fun gun. Let's take a look. Hey guys, Max here for IGN. We are at Star Wars Celebration, Orlando, Florida. Kind of, sort of. We're actually at Machine Gun America, which is a shooting range. Now, Star Wars has some of the most iconic guns in movie history. Here's Han Solo's wonderful Blastech blaster. It's a cool pistol for smugglers and the like, but the reality is, not this one, but the real one, is just a broom handle Mauser covered in camera parts and weird pieces of junk, and that's what the majority of the original trilogy's arsenal is. Basically, they took a bunch of existing weapons and they just put weird greeblies and pieces of crap all over them. Thankfully, Machine Gun America actually has some of those guns, and we're gonna try to shoot them today. Why are stormtroopers such a bad shot? Let's find out. Scott here is the range master at Machine Gun America, and he can tell us a little bit about what I like to call the Blastech DLT-19, but which in reality is an MG34. What's the history with this gun?
Basically, this was a German machine gun used in the early part of World War II. It fires an 8mm Mauser. It has just a crazy cyclic rate. They actually use these for anti-aircraft as well. They would set these up on these cool little tripods where they could move them around, angled up at aircraft, shooting 360 degrees.
So you're making this look easy. This thing weighs about 35 pounds. It is heavy. I don't know if they were using actual versions or a replica when they were filming Star Wars, but the fact that like Han and Luke are running around carrying these things, it's kind of impressive. Unfortunately, we cannot shoot the MG34 today because it's out of order. Obviously, this is a gun range, so people do come through and fire the weapons. Getting replacement parts for something from World War II is a little tricky, so that won't be happening today. However, we do have some alternatives. One of the most commonly seen weapons in the Star Wars films is, of course, the Blastech E11 blaster rifle, which is your basic stormtrooper machine gun. In the Star Wars films, obviously, there's a lot of sort of like ribbing that goes along the top, and there's a telescoping sight here, and the magazine is pretty much just chopped off like that. The E11 apparently has a capacity of 100 rounds, unless you have a plasma cartridge, which is 500. That's all made up bull. How many rounds does this hold?
This magazine holds 30. We run 25 through ours.
We're gonna see why stormtroopers can't hit anything. Holy shit. Now let's try it with the mask.
I'm gonna open it up.
Without the mask, with the mask. If anything, it helps. Imperial stormtroopers can't hit shit.
And we are back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for surviving that. Max, did your arms hurt after that? What's the kickback like on one of those things?
It was pretty okay. It was fine. It was more kind of like I've never actually fired a machine gun before, which was kind of funny.
Most people haven't.
Right, but it was weird. Like I've fired guns before. It was weird to just kind of put that back burner, that sensation of like I have no idea what this is gonna feel like. I've shot millions of rounds of machine gun ammo in video games, but in actual real life, I'm more focused on. Oh, is my Han Solo costume riding up in the back? I'm wearing these awkward riding boots in Florida heat. That was a weird day. Anyway, while we're on the subject of Star Wars, still, because we do that and we forgot its birthday and it was mad at us and we're not crazy,
Happy birthday, Star
Happy birthday,
Wars.
Star Wars. There's a great new Lego set out right now. Obviously, Star Wars Legos are a thing that exists, and they are fun, and they are fine. Unfortunately, Lego is a very expensive thing to collect. If you want the cool minifigures frequently, you have to buy big dumb sets just to get like one dude. Like I think I really wanted a Bib Fortuna, and I had to get the Jabba's Palace set, which was like 120 bucks. The good news is I think Lego is kind of realizing that, and they're realizing that there's a huge scene of collecting minifigs. If you go to a convention, you'll see tables of people just buying individual figures. And they just put out this set, which is just called Bounty Hunter Speeder Bike Battle Pack.
Yeah.
And it's 15
Hot
bucks.
Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And it's basically all of the bounty hunters except for Zuckuss and Boba Fett, and they're just hanging out, being friends. You got, you got Forlom, you got IG-88, you got Dengar, and you got Bosk, and there's this funky speeder bike that shoots little studs. They got these little.
Don't do it. Oh,
That's cool. It comes with
almost
extras.
hit IG-88. I think it's an interesting set from a narrative perspective because it really seats one. You can maybe have a couple of men hanging off on the sides, but it means that they're all like kind of running into battle, and then one of them gets a car.
I like
so I don't know
the-
if they like do 21st finger or like draw straws to see who gets it, but only one of them gets it.
Yeah,
So-
I like that. Here's my idea of the scenario. Hey, losers, it's me, Bosk. Oh, great, Bosk here again. You guys want to go down to the store and get some snacks and stuff?
I don't want to hang out with you. You are a strange lizard man.
Well, this is a one-seater anyway, goons. And then he just rides away, and they're like,
I
"Boss
hate
sucks."
that lizard.
Anyway, that was our interpretation of what's going on with this Lego set, which is available now in stores where Lego is sold. Yeah, I just like that they're doing that. I remember back when I was a kid, they'd be like, here's 8 random medieval boys, and they'd be in like a little kit, and you're like, well, I can't build anything, but I have more people to like make my dudes fight, you know? Which is a good setup.
Happy birthday, Star Wars.
Happy birthday, Star Wars. Anyway, while on the subject of Star Wars, one thing that is not Star Wars, but kind of close enough, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which is out in theaters, and coming to stores soon is the Marvel Legends wave of Guardians Volume 2 figures. We've talked about them on the show before. I think one of the previous waves was a bunch of these fine characters, but they're doing even more of them still. They made a Star-Lord as he appears in the movie, and he comes with his little tiny Walkman, and he's got his fun Doctor Who scarf.
His shawl, yeah, it's adorable.
Yeah. And then to go with him, you've got Gamora, who's got her like cool new kind of like renegade like troublemaker outfit, and then her crappy sister Nebula, who's got her funny like arm, but also like a regular arm if you want to use that too. And this whole set is a Build-A-Figure, so if you get all of them, you can assemble Mantis, and they can all hang out. And you know, it's cool that they got all these movie characters
These are
together.
great figures.
These are Marvel Legends has been getting increasingly good. There was kind of a weird period where they kind of dipped in quality. One thing that's really good
And
is
these kind of like the Black Series are $20 each, right?
yeah, $20 each. You obviously have to buy all of them in the series to build Mantis. So if you're really after her, bad news. I really like Rocket. Obviously, I'm a big Raccoon fan. This figure is just gorgeous. He's like super articulate. He's got little guns. He comes with an alternate head who's making just a different face, different angry face, and he's got little teeny tiny baby Groot. And I don't know. It's cool to see them basically not try to derail an entire existing series like Marvel Legends, which used to be like Marvel Legends was just comic book based stuff, and then when a movie would come out, they'd be like, it's the X-Men Origins Wolverine line, and then that would show up in stores, and that'd be a whole new kind of like SKU, and it just made collecting kind of weird. But in this time around, they're kind of like they're mixing in comic characters with movie versions. Here's a character who is going to be showing up probably in the next Avengers movie, Adam Warlock, who gets his own kind of comic book iteration figure, which comes with a bonus head. I don't know a damn thing about Adam Warlock. What's his deal?
He's sort of like this cosmic defender guy that's tasked with keeping the Infinity Gauntlet away from Thanos and collecting all the gems, which is probably something we'll get to see in
If
that
he's
movie.
like just showing up in the MCU, he's kind of doing a bad job of it, because I feel like Thanos is kind of getting up on those.
I think the narrative is that he's got bigger problems in space than dealing with like Daredevil's garbage down in the municipal courts.
Pretty much, yeah. And then you've got Death's Head 2, which is just a gorgeous figure. This is such an awesome design. He kind of just looks like medieval Predator from space.
Yeah,
I
he's
guess
great, and I
Predator's from
really
space.
like his gun, or his knife gun arm
Yeah.
thing, whatever's going on there.
It's
Very, very 90s
badass.
comic books.
And then there's this dude. I think his name is Ex Nihilus, and he's sort of like a friend of Adam Warlock's. Do you know who this is?
No,
Do you have any idea?
I find his golden bare feet to be.
I was gonna say, where are
very
his shoes?
unsettling.
What's wrong with his shoes?
Get the man some boots.
Yeah. So I think the winner of this line is Rocket, but I'm a little bit biased because I am such a raccoon fanatic.
Yeah.
What's good though is if you're a raccoon fanatic as well, I think he's 2 per case, which means that for every box of these they get, there's 2 Rocket raccoons, which means that you might be able to find it more easily than not. But yeah. That's the latest wave of Marvel Legends. Big thanks to Hasbro for sending those over.
Yeah, if
I
you
like
saw the
toys.
last round of them and you were like, they're cool, but they're a little comic-y. I want the stuff that's a little more based on the movies. I think this is a good balance of both. Guardians 2 is obviously out in theaters right now. It's a good comedy and it's getting great reviews. But another comedy that you probably don't know anything about is called Dean. It's a very personal comedy made by Demetri Martin, who, if you've been following the sort of Comedy Central or independent comedy scene for the last 2 decades or so, you've seen Demetri Martin's work. A lot of it is very based on drawings and just sort of quirkiness. He put out this movie. It made both of us cry.
Yeah, it's a comedy in that comedy and tragedy frequently go hand in hand. And he came by the IGN offices and we got to talk to him. We frequently do interviews that are all like, hey guys, we're here with Adam Sessler. He's talking about Friday the 13th where you can kill camp counselors. Let's take a look. But
we got Spider-Man. He's telling us about the top 5 webs.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were like, hey, let's do something like cool and weird and personal. And so we got to geek out with Demetri Martin about making comedy and dealing with tragedy and just creating stuff. So hopefully you get something good from it, because we did, and you should too.
Yeah,
So let's
and
take
if
a
you're
look.
bored, don't worry, because there's a live animal after that.
That's true. Hey guys, it's Brian and Max from Up at Noon, and today we're joined with Demetri Martin. Thank you so much for coming by, seriously. Your new movie, Dean, is out June 2nd, and I'm going to cut right to it. It made both of us cry.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
This
That's good. It's supposed to do that.
So this
It's got a heartfelt thing.
obviously a very, very personal movie. You wrote, directed, and starred in this.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's rooted in some personal experiences.
Yeah, I put it all on the table for this. It's all fiction, but so in the movie, my character, and Kevin Kline plays my dad, which I was very grateful to get Kevin. He kind of made it happen, because he's like gave it legitimacy. It became like a real movie when he signed up. But the 2 characters are grieving the loss of my character's mom, who's passed away about a year maybe before the movie takes place. So it's a comedy, but it is heartfelt.
Was it difficult to make something so much more personal, or is that something that's easier to do?
I found it challenging. I looked up and I'm suddenly 20 years into stand-up, and for most of that I'm just writing jokes. I like one-liners and doing jokes about objects, things, simple stuff. And it's fun because they're kind of like games. Like if I get a joke to work, I feel like I cracked it, or I solved a puzzle or something. And it's not that they're personal in as much as it's what I really think about, but they're not autobiographical all the time. Some of them are, but it's not like I'm telling my life story. And you guys know the era we live in now is it's very autobiographical, especially in comedy. People, it's almost like an autobiography diarrhea right now that's happening to people. I think some people are great at it. Others, I'm not as interested. It's like anything.
You've got a huge background in writing, and you've done tons of stand-up. But how was it directing something you wrote, starring yourself? Like, what did
that was tricky.
Together,
that was tricky. Yeah, that was hard. I knew it would be pretty challenging. I wanted to do it because there's you can save yourself, you can protect yourself in a lot of ways. It's hard, and you're definitely playing with fire if you do that. But I get to control the edit, so I can edit my movie, which is great. And in performing, you can almost edit while you're going a little bit, or at least feel what's happening, change your writing. You get to be in the scenes with the other actors, so that was really cool. And the directing part of it I hadn't done before, but I really liked. It turned out I liked doing that because I think a lot of us are so savvy. I mean, even someone like me, I'm in my 40s, so I'm not that young, but I've grown up with so many different kinds of media, and it's certainly just proliferated. We've seen so much footage, so much content. I think there's more than you realize, in a sense. You just kind of, there's a language, there's a visual storytelling language that's there.
Our audience loves movies and video games and action figures, and there are so many forms of media that you just sort of take and you consume. And I don't think enough of them really know like the sort of cathartic thrill that it is to make something, to actually create something. So how does someone get started doing that? What pushes that to happen?
So I've found over the years that focusing on the process of making things in my notebooks, it's really enjoyable, and it's portable and self-contained, and I'm not that familiar with where games are these days. Like I've just fallen behind on all of it. It's just like, it's hard to keep up with music, with everything. It's just like, I feel like I'm a couple steps behind. But the notebooks have persisted for me, and in them I find kind of my own generative games, my own kind of self-oriented games where whether I'm writing jokes or writing palindromes or just like weird line drawings or trying to come up with drawings that don't require words that can work as jokes. Some of which I put in the movie, you know, where it's just like, they're almost like a silent film or a snapshot. Like those are great because I feel like they're identifiable endpoints that you can aim for, and then you try to achieve something. And to me, that feels like gaming, or that feels like playing something.
Well, it's kind of nice too. Like you get on an airplane and it's like, oh, it's loud, but it's also quiet.
Right.
And I don't have Wi-Fi, and no one can call me, and I can't get text.
You
and
do,
now,
but it's like $12.
yeah, oh, yeah,
exactly.
It's like that's
Hey,
like a
$48 for 40 minutes. Oh, that's not greedy at all. Thank you.
Yeah, it's horrible. So like I think it's good to have those sort of like safe havens, those quiet places.
Yeah.
The phone that doesn't, you know, have Wi-Fi, the typewriter that doesn't connect to the internet and have 70 apps on it.
I think it's nice, you know, it's like, certainly balance is something that I strive for, and I don't know. Again, I'm not a big gamer, but I can imagine that it works best when you feel like you have a life in addition to it, and you're not like completely off the planet and just pulled in. You know, I'm sure that's fun to just disappear, but you look up and you're like, you lost a foot. You're like, what?
Yeah, and
I got gangrene.
That's exactly what, you know, what I was thinking. Is just, it's so important to just stop every now and then and just sort of create.
It's
something.
interesting, and I think in today's world, all the content that we have at our disposal to consume, it's definitely overwhelming. You have to curate your own experience.
Yeah.
Right? And for gaming too, like you've got to you have to put effort into that. If you're too passive, I feel like someone's just controlling your fate, your state of mind in a lot of ways. I feel like what you pay attention to just has so much of an effect on what reality is to you. So when you're on the other side of it and you try to make some content, I don't know, I've tried to be mindful of the audience, because more than ever before in history, people can just turn off, turn on, change, click, do whatever the hell they want anywhere, on their phone, on an airplane. So it's like, I don't know, it just feels like a responsibility to just try harder, make something that might be worth someone's time, because it just seems so precious, someone's attention.
That is fantastic to hear. That was really good.
It's true, though. You know?
It was beautiful. Demetri Martin, thank you so much for coming by to IGN. Your new movie is called Dean. It's out June 2nd.
Yeah.
And everyone should go see it. Is it going to be everywhere, limited run release? Like
the first weekend, I think it's in like 12 cities, and then they slowly roll it out depending on how well it does. It'll be around the whole country, though. So probably not for very long. It's a small movie, but yeah, I hope you see it.
Go see it.
Cool.
And we're back. Yeah, that was like, I don't know, kind of a career highlight. That was really, really fun.
That was really cool. Honestly, we interview people for a living. We get to talk to, you know, celebrities, famous people, interesting people, people who make stuff. And sometimes you feel like you did it wrong. You feel like it went off on the wrong foot. But it was really cool to just kind of talk to him and be like, oh, that was actually like connecting with a human being. So that was nice. Speaking of human beings, one thing that is not a human being is a reptile. And I got to interview one of those, sort of. So I guess let's take a look at that. Hey guys, Max here. I'm at the Sawgrass Recreational Park with Dalton, who's a representative from the Savannah Electronics Corporation, and they have a new monitor that they've just announced. Now this is how large is this monitor, would you say?
She's about 3 feet right now.
Okay, so that's measured diagonally. What's the resolution on the monitor, would you say?
You can see how scaly she is. You can see it shines right off of her. I mean, this is probably the highest definition they have out right now.
Okay.
4K?
Okay, good. So it's a 4K Savannah monitor, and as I see, it's very, very portable for gamers on the go.
Oh, definitely. Super lightweight, loves to move around. She travels very nicely.
Now, where are the HDMI ports?
Oh, it's underneath it right now.
Okay.
It's hidden.
Okay. And what would you say the refresh rate is on this sort of
This
new
one
device?
specifically is one of our slower models. You can see she is a little bit on the clunkier side. So this one isn't, we do have a couple models that are a lot slimmer, a lot more lightweight, moves a lot faster.
Well, it's cool to see all these great new developments in display technology. We've got lots more coverage coming up from the trade show here at
Sawgrass Recreational Park. Stay locked right here on IGN. Cutting edge in technology.
So, okay.
Yeah, what do you even say after
No,
that?
to me, like, so we do a lot of, we work together a lot. And when we pitch it, that means we throw a lot of ideas at each other, and a lot of them are bad, and very few that are good that actually get made. And from those that are good that get made, get called bad in the comments. So it works out.
Yeah.
This was one of those ideas where you were like, I'm gonna talk to this man about his monitor lizard as if it's a gaming monitor. And I was like, dude, no one knows what a monitor lizard is. And then you shot this in front of me and I was in tears and I was like, it doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fun. I'm glad we got to do this.
Honestly, we were actually in Florida shooting some fun stuff with XGC, which is this sponsored Old Spice thing that we did involved hovercrafts. And it got rained out, so we decided to go play with the reptiles, which is how that happened. Speaking of XGC, let's take a look at that. Just it's out there. It's on the internet. It's very extreme. That's what the X actually stands for. They were so excited. The E just fell off because the extreme was just flying out there. Yeah. So just take a look.
I'm Nathan Barnett, and this is IGN's Extreme Gaming Challenge.
Well, if it isn't Nick and Tim from Kinda Funny.
We are going to play 1-2 switch in zero gravity.
And I'm playing Call of Duty in a fighter jet.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. You live life a quarter pounder at a time.
Oh! Okay, go! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
So yeah, that's XGC. We are wrapped for that series now. It was really, really fun, very dangerous. So if you haven't seen those, look them up. If not, the newest video of us with our good friend Mega Ran, who's an awesome rapper, we got to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Nintendo Switch while riding hovercrafts. And the weird thing about that was that we had to stay very close to each other so the games wouldn't disconnect. That's more of a Nintendo thing than it is a hovercraft thing. But we made it work, and it's one of the craziest videos we've ever been a part of, and just really, really surreal. And I don't think we really talked about behind the scenes stuff for this.
Not really.
Man, that was a fun shoot.
Yeah. We'll talk about that, I guess some other time. We mentioned Adam Sessler and Friday the 13th. He was here last week showing that off. We had so much fun playing that we actually we played a whole nother round. And that game is just nightmarish and ridiculous and very fun. So let's take a look at that, and then I think after that we're kind of good to go. So like, play us off, Jason Voorhees.
Hey everyone, it's Brian and Max from Up at Noon, and today we've got Adam Sessler.
Hello.
Friday the 13th, probably the one of the most violent video games I've ever got of. There we go. Speaks for itself.
What the?
So what?
That's the special Jason that the Kickstarter backers got.
Okay.
He's specially designed by Tom Savini, the famous makeup artist.
Yep.
He did Dawn of the Dead. He worked on Friday the 13th 1 and 4. He designed this. It's like Jason back from hell.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's how I would think of it.
I dig it.
You didn't need to make him more scary than he was already. Okay, so we played this last week. We didn't do great, but it was fun watching everyone get chopped up. I think we should go in with a more sort of defensive combat
Let me get some
plan
stuff.
from here.
What do we got?
So some of the stuff we can do, we can set up traps. We can get a couple
Traps.
stabby weapons.
Good,
Yeah,
good, good.
the idea is that in the early part of the game, this is
all-
where
it's
you
all
just start
preparation,
searching for things. And this is where you try to find friends, figure out where the car is. Also, one key thing to look out for are maps. Because you don't have a map yet that kind of lays out where everything is
Interesting.
on the map. You can both find them inside a cabin. Sometimes, depending on where you are, you can actually, kind of like at a camp, the
Right.
you are here type thing, you can just select it off of that.
Okay. All right, is it?
So yeah,
So
these are one of the things that have happened to me in the past where like you spawn and you're not really near anybody.
It's a little bit. It's definitely scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary. I was picking up sort of some like Resident Evil 4 vibes from the way the houses are and barricading the doors and sort of setting up traps and stuff like that, which is pretty awesome. One of my favorite games of all time.
It's also a guy with a bag on his head trying to kill you. That helps.
Yeah, that helps. The horror game genre has blown up a lot in the last few years, and then I think we've seen it sort of kind of taper off for a bit, but this feels like it's going to give it a bit of new life because there's a lot of crazy new ideas here.
Well, horror multiplayer wasn't something that really, I can't think of a ton of instances.
No, not really.
All right, so there's a camper over here. We're going to go hang out with him.
And, it's obviously slower paced. It gets frantic in moments, but it definitely has that, just like a horror movie, it sort of builds up to its moments of crisis.
Right.
It's not, say, a more traditional multiplayer game where it starts at 11 and pretty much stays at 11 for the duration.
Yep.
Oh God,
we
God.
just heard that infamous chanting whisper nightmare psycho sound.
Yeah, the Jason song.
That's usually okay.
Oh God, that's
not okay.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that is not okay.
Oh, okay. Well, unless
crap.
See, here's something that is really interesting about the game. You end up making the same bad decisions that they make in the movies.
yeah, absolutely.
Go, he's right on top of you.
He was right. Wow.
Okay, so someone set off firecrackers. That discombobulates Jason, just creating a lot of noise. Once again, gives you an opportunity to try to get away.
Right.
Get some distance between you and Jason.
Now here, we just noticed that flashing light back there. That's one of the houses he ripped the power out on.
Right. Now you can fix that, and you also need the power to call the cops.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Do we have an opportunity to...
Go swimming.
You want to swim out of here?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah, that seems safe. Is there a boat?
There can be boats. So the spawns of vehicles in the games are random, but there are cars and boats. Sometimes you get 2 cars, sometimes you get a car and a boat. You will never get 2 boats.
Oh.
Here's another thing. Some cars can fit 2 people, some cars can fit 4 people.
What?
So remember, if you're with 5 people and you fix the car,
right,
someone's going to be hurt.
What are you doing?
There is friendly fire, so be careful.
Oh.
You can select it on and off in your private matches.
I think I'm stuck on a tree root.
Uh-oh.
I think we got a stuck player.
Uh-oh.
Wait, there you go.
I'm good.
There you go.
You just totally juked me, okay.
Oh God, what's happening?
I think he was right behind you,
He's right there. He's like right there. Luckily, he's terrified of water.
Some Jasons can swim better than others. I don't know what special demon Jason, I can't remember.
He's on fire, so he probably doesn't want to ruin his cool costume.
Or maybe it's like the best fire ever that can't be extinguished because it's filled with hate.
Oh, look at that.
He's
in the water. Go. Get out of there. Go. Oh, come on. Stop it.
No.
Oh! Break free.
Get out.
You should be able to do it. Do it. Go.
Did it.
Run.
Okay, I'm going.
Run.
Stop shouting at me. Run. He's right there. Come on. Go.
Run.
What is he? I'm terrified.
Oh my God.
You are very scared.
Get away from the rock. Go in the house. And the other interesting thing is, like, there's no real, like, sort of HUD that says, like, I'm tired or my energy's low.
You have a little bit on the side. You can see,
Right.
you see the red? That's kind of your fatigue there.
Got it. Okay, so we're a little bit sleepy right now and bloody, but we have this pool.
Oh! He's trying to get
Go! I'm trying to run away!
No!
Oh, no!
God!
What's gonna happen?
Get out!
Oh,
no! That's not great for us. Good Lord!
All right.
Very intense.
It's just very unsettling. It's amazing that we play video games to sort of specifically give ourselves that feeling of discomfort.
Well, and one of the things I found fascinating working with the guys over the past year and a half on the game is the hockey mask. Like that image of Jason.
Yeah.
Is like iconic.
What? They got the car working?
You got the car working.
Yeah. Ooh, and he's alone.
Yeah,
Look at this
70s dad over here. He's
and he's trying to get his girlfriend to come in with him, but he's not having it. He's get out of there. He's a scornful virgin.
Driving backwards seems like a bad idea.
Oh, God. Can you run over Jason with the car?
You can try.
Can
I wouldn't recommend it.
Wow. Can he run over other players with the car?
Another thing that happens is as you're trying
that's not good.
Oh, God. Okay. Hit him.
Why is he driving back? Get on the road. Go.
Oh, my God. What is she doing over there?
Oh, my God. No.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, there he is. Oh, he's gonna kill her.
Oh, God. Okay.
Now's your chance. Get out, get out. Oh, no.
Yeah, the cars don't handle very well.
No, of course not.
Well, they're being driven by teenagers who've been doing tomfoolery in the camp. Oh, and they called the cops?
And see, the cops are coming.
Did they get away?
They got away. They got away. Those are winners.
Meanwhile, you get the goth lady, and she's hiding in the laundry
Rocker
hamper.
chick.
Okay.
Oh. So now, yeah, there's still about another 4 minutes, 40 seconds for the cops to get there. Go in the outhouse.
Oh! Oh my God.
So the guy's still in the outhouse.
Dude, this is fun as hell to spectate.
Does he know he's in there?
This, I mean, it's interesting. I think we're entering into a new type of game that isn't competitive, but is highly entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is people making a movie together that they don't know how it's... Is he just flashing the light at him to scare him? Oh.
I love how he has a damn trident. Is that guy still in the outhouse pooping? Did he get out?
Hopefully he realizes this is his best moment ever.
Oh.
That's not how Jason works, you idiot.
What was that? Oh, fireworks.
If you coordinate the right way and you know what to do... Yeah, he morphed. This is
Oh, no. There we go. Get him, get him, get him.
Oh, we got him.
Run!
Oh, there's a third one right there.
Oh, and the cops are going to show up?
The cops are not going to be here in 3.5 minutes. That's like 3 dead teenagers.
I thought I would mention the music you're hearing. It's composed by Harry Manfredini, who did the music for the movies.
Oh, that's perfect.
He's the guy that came up with the
Oh, I really love all the little details for people who are big geeks on the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
This is made by people who know these movies with an intimacy that, I mean, I thought I was a fan.
I think that like this game works as a terrifying game if you've never seen these films.
Yes.
But if you have, there's all these little sort of Easter eggs and bonuses everywhere.
Well,
oh, God.
And that's what I'm saying is that he's like the image of Jason is so universally known that like the minute you see that hockey mask for the first time in a match, it just triggers something.
Yeah.
It's just ingrained in us.
Now we saw that canoe back there. This guy is very bloody. Oh.
Well, they're in that lovely hunting lodge where so much tomfoolery went down.
Yeah.
Oh!
So you're turning on music. That can draw Jason to the sound and give you some cover if you want to kind of sneak out another way.
Nice. Meanwhile, are you serious?
He's still pooping,
dude.
Still pooping in there.
All right.
Well, I'll be honest, like your bowels tend to seize up in moments like this.
I love this falling out of windows thing.
Oh, look at this. She's got a pot. Like, come on.
Yeah, but look at her. She looks like the good one.
She's not the bookish girl, but she has some of the best composure in the game.
Look at.
Oh! That's not great. She needs to get out of here. Check on your friend is in just terrible pain. Oh my God. All right, so 2 minutes until the police arrive.
I really want to see the cops just show up and be like, "Excuse me, sir, please stop."
There's only how many?
We've gotten reports of.
Hey, come on, that's a nice window.
Adam, how many teenagers are left right now? Does it feel like 3?
You know what? I'm guessing 2 to 3.
Okay, yeah, that was my guess too. Oh God.
And I was gonna let you know if you get in the car and escape, Jason becomes keenly aware of that and knows how to teleport. During your final escape while driving a wonky car. And like I said, I wouldn't recommend trying to run him over, but also the handling of the cars is such that careening out of the way will also cause you some trouble.
He's still pooping.
He's still pooping.
How is he still in there?
He might be dead in there.
Oh, that makes sense. Like Elvis.
He died doing what he loved, though, which is pooping. Oh, good, another toilet. That doesn't seem to be safe so far.
Oh! Ah, the stately Prince Manor.
Not a good noise. Was that? Oh God.
So we've got one left, I think. Oh no,
we got
there's
2.
2 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, that just sounded like it was.
All right, less than a minute if they can get out and get to the cops. But the thing is, you don't know where the cops are yet.
Oh.
Then once again, where you need to go appears randomly on the map.
This is like the first game I've seen in a while where you're very happy when the cops show up. Usually it's the other way around.
That's true. Oh God. Oh God.
Okay.
Did you hear that knock?
Wait, he's not going to knock. He's going to break the door.
I don't know. He might. He's
Hello,
crazy.
it's not Jason.
Room service. I have a spritzer for you.
He throws us off.
Oh! Get out of there! Get out of there!
No, you got to go out there. Oh God.
You could always do the old rope-a-dope and just make him come in one and jump out the other.
Oh my God, he got in here so
Get
fast.
out that window.
Get out,
Get
go
out of the window.
the window.
Shut
Why
the
are you
doors.
both in here?
Oh.
Oh, you got hurt really bad. Oh, he's just like wiping the blood off.
Oh, that's cool. The back team cleans your clothes too. Oh no. Come on. You just go after her. She's in there.
She's in
All
there.
right, so
it's
now
fine.
so the players, not us. The cops are here. They know where to go.
Oh, the cops
There's
are
the
there.
cops. So I think Jason's probably decided to just rack up a kill with the other player.
Did he get out?
He's out.
He's
He's
out.
safe.
So Nerd Girl's the only one left?
Yeah.
And then Poopin' Dude.
And Poopin' Dude.
the safest pooper. No, she's still at it, man.
Oh man, she's not doing well. That's a really heavy pot. That's why her arm.
Yeah, why? Yeah. The door is open too. You know, just what?
Oh, she found
Are
it
you
in her own
serious?
trap.
Are you kidding me?
Because Jason has traps. He may have left it out there.
Oh my God.
But you can also get ensnared by traps of the other counselors.
And then there's just Jason.
Oh my
going-
God,
is
that's
Poopin-
hard.
No, I
What a
think-
bad way to
Is
go.
Poopin' Dude still hanging out? I think he is. He's.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It,
he's-
it,
Poopin'
it
Dude is
might be
still
a boo.
alive.
I think it's a boo-boo.
Oh no.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I really was rooting for Nerd Girl there until she stepped in that bear trap. That seemed avoidable, but that's really smart. You put a bear trap right underneath the window.
Yep.
Horrible. Just absolutely
As
horrible.
people start to find advanced ways of playing
Yep.
Jason, the game gets so interesting.
This is so weird because it's also like basically this is a Jason movie that just keeps.
Yeah.
People keep making more and more of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
So that's out in the wild now. That's coming to PS4 and Xbox One, and
Yeah,
if you
if
wanna
you're not
see
playing
more,
it, you probably are a scared person.
Yeah, you're too scared. And if you're not, you should see if you can jump on and spectate some matches too, because it's a good time.
Yeah.
And that's Friday the 13th. It's out right now. Adam, that was legit terrifying. I don't know what to say. I was really I even hear the noises and I get scared. I was rooting for these teenagers, but it's also really fun to watch them die.
This is a weird game because you root for the cops, you root for the teenagers, you root for all kinds of things you normally don't want to deal with. But then
Because that's the whole thing with Jason. You kind of root for him too when you're watching because you want to see something spectacular
Yeah, it's a
happening.
good time to see that adult grown man just slash people up.
You also get the sense, when you used to yell at the screen like "Don't do that," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Why are these characters making horrible decisions?" It's funny how you actually end up making a lot of those horrible decisions.
Yeah, and when you're not, you're screaming. I was screaming at them like, jump out the window, which is what I would do in a horror movie. Adam, thank you so much for coming back to
my
Afternoon.
pleasure.
And for scaring us on TV. That was good. That was fun. Now there's that video of us yelling. Yeah.
There weren't enough of those.
For all of this and more, keep watching IGN, and thanks for being here.